Hello, so happy you're here. So today's flow is going to be focused on a little love for the hips. So this will build strength a little bit as well as stretch. So it's a good combination because I really do think that we need both, and yoga isn't all about stretching. So we really do need to have some of that strength within there. So we will begin today. You won't need anything but maybe some blocks if you have them. If you don't have them, you can always just kind of find a modification that works for you, but we will find some balancing throughout our flow today. So we will begin in a child's pose, taking it your version. So if you'd like to bring the knees wide, offering more space for the belly to kind of come down, that's fine. Or if you want to keep knees together. And let's go ahead and bend the elbows so you're almost making a diamond shape with the arms. And just begin to kind of let go of the day thus far. Just beginning to take stock and take notice of how you're feeling in this moment. Letting the shoulders soften. Beginning to feel the forehead, the pressure points of the shins, the tops of the feet on the mat. Beginning to notice the breath and how the breath expands on the inhale, feeling that in the low back and the rib cage. And as you exhale, the navel kind of pulling up and in. So take a few moments here on your own just to really begin to elongate the inhale and exhale. And we can tune into our breath. Really is the quickest way to return to center and to come back to the here and now. On your next inhale, begin to slowly lift up into all fours. Finding your alignment, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Really taking a moment here to kind of have a micro bend in those elbows. Crown is pointing towards the top of the mat. And pull the navel in so you have that flat back. If you want to tuck the toes just to offer a little space, begin to let the belly fall, look towards the top of the mat as you kind of breathe in, and then as you exhale, really find that C shape with the spine. Really press into the tops of the feet, push the mat away. Good. Moving slowly here and mindfully, inhale, kind of look forward, making sure you keep the integrity in the spine. Exhale, push the mat away. Begin to make this your own, finding maybe a rock back and forth. Maybe you want to linger longer in the cat pose. Maybe you want to rock the hips side to side. Just take a few moments here to really explore. Once that feels complete, go ahead and find that neutral spine. And then just begin to kind of make circles with your tailbone, almost like your hip is wanting to go out to one side and then the other. Just kind of gently getting into those hip joints, to the hip socket. Just kind of beginning to explore and feel where you might be at today, and then go ahead and reverse the direction. Good. And then come to neutral. And I'm going to come to face you, just so it's a little easier to see. But we'll go ahead and take that right foot out to the side and really plant that right foot down. Good. Drag that left hand over and reach that right arm up and over into gate pose. So really take a moment here to open the heart up towards the sky. Really reach and stretch through that right side body. Press into the outer edge of the right foot. Let your next inhale lift you up. Right hand slides down, left arm up and over. Good. Really stretch, reach, really almost like that side body is just wanting to expand and rip open. Good. And then kind of swing that left hand back down. Bring the right knee under the hip and switch sides. Left foot comes out. Ground that left foot into the mat. Right hand comes out to the side as the left arm reaches up and over. Again, just kind of opening up towards the sky. You can even play with a little bit of a dance, kind of rounding forward and then opening back up. Good. Pressing into the outer edge of the left foot. Let your inhale lift you up. Left hand slides down. The left leg, right arm up and over. Deep breaths here. Really breathe into the side body. Good. And the right hand swings down and around, coming back to all fours. And we'll gently lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a moment to explore, bending one knee, then the other. Really just tapping into that wisdom of how the body wants to move. So maybe you take a moment to close the eyes and just listen. There's no right or wrong. Good. And we'll come to a moment of stillness. Feet about hip width apart. Belly button pulled into the spine, ears in line with biceps. Let the feet the heels like energetically want to root down through the earth while the tailbone lifts up to the sky. Good. Slowly lower the knees, but I want you to go ahead and just hover those knees. Building a little bit of strength. You might have to readjust here if you need to. But really pull the navel up and in. Make sure you're not collapsing in the shoulders. Good. And then slowly with control, just flexing that right foot still, pushing that right foot out. Hold. And then lift, downward facing dog. Open the hip here. Let the right knee stack over the left hip. Just feeling this stretch. Good. And then bring the right foot in between the hands or carry it. Lowering that left knee. And we'll just come into a low lunge. Good. Bringing that right hand to the right hip. Let that left arm reach up and over to the right. So just getting a deeper stretch into the left hip flexor. Good. One more breath. And left hand comes down, framing the right foot. Lift that back knee off, and then we'll step that right foot back and just push into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a breath here, finding that alignment. And then slowly lowering those knees down to hover. Really pull the navel into the spine. Keep holding. Good. Push that left foot back. Really flex that left foot. Really hold one straight line from heel to crown. And then slowly push up, three-legged dog. Bend the left knee. Let the left knee stack over the right leg. Good. And step or carry left foot in between your hands. Ground your right knee. And when you're ready, lift, low lunge. Left hand comes to the left hip. Right arm reaches up and over. One more breath. And right arm swing down, framing the left foot, lifting the back knee, stepping back into plank, and downward facing dog. Take a breath. And we'll slowly take as many steps as you need to the front of the mat. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulder blades squeeze together, lower ribs in. Exhale, fold. Let the head hang loose. Rock side to side if that feels good. Relax the jaw. Relax through the forehead. Good. Now getting into the outer hip. I want you to ground that left hand. You can also use a block here if you'd like. Just kind of feel in what feels best. And I want you to bend that left knee as the right arm reaches up. Should feel this on the right outer hip. Just kind of breathing into that IT band. And if you don't, it's okay. Maybe just see where you do feel it. Good. And we'll gently lower that right hand and we'll switch. Grounding the right hand, bending the right knee, lifting that left arm up. Deep breaths. And bring that left hand down. Good. Forward fold, slowly like a rag doll. Come all the way up to standing. Head comes up last. Big shoulder roll. Beautiful. Coming into your asana. Wonderful. Inhale those arms up. And exhale into chair. Good. Really inhale, lengthen through the back of the heart. Exhale, fold over the thighs. Arms come down. Stay low. Inhale into chair. Exhale a little lower. And inhale, lift all the way up to mountain. Exhale, hands come down, grow tall. Good. Inhale, begin to put the weight into the left foot as the right knee begins to lift up towards the chest. holding on to that right knee, finding a little balance. And then we'll go ahead and take the right ankle, cross it over the left thigh, bring the hands to heart center, and just come into a figure 4. So, a couple options. You can either stay here balanced, could grab a couple blocks and hold on to them. And we are going to do little squats. So if you want to either stay here and just hold, or just begin to pulse. As you do this, you can probably feel a little bit of a deeper stretch as you pulse. So I want you to move mindfully. Just a little dynamic stretching as well as strengthening in that standing leg. Good. And 2, 1, then hold. Begin to lift, straighten that left leg. Right knee comes into the chest. See if you can keep balancing. It's okay if you fall out of it, but just gently, slowly come into a supported warrior 3. So this is where I like to use a block or 2. But it's more about finding alignment today within the hips than actually achieving and pushing ourselves into a pose that might not be ready or the body just isn't wanting to get there today. So just listen. You can always do this without the block. Make sure that right hip is in line with the left, that you feel the strength in the standing leg as well as that right leg. Good. One long line of energy, crown to head, all the way to the foot. And then with control, we'll slowly lower that right foot, coming into a warrior 2. Good. Finding your strength here, in line with right arch. I want you to just hold, really press into both feet, tailbone pointing down, and breathe. And gently bring that left elbow to the left thigh, right arm reaches up and over, extended side angle. And windmill that right hand down, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Bend that left knee, coming into Skandasana, right toes point up towards the sky. And walk your hands over to the right side, left toes point up to the sky. Good, a couple more times. Walking over, bending the left knee, right toes point up. One more time, bending the right knee, left toes point up. Good. Now walking the hands to the front of the mat, coming into a runner's lunge, framing that left foot. Option to take a little vinyasa here. So coming into plank, coming into chaturanga, or knee, chest, chin, upward facing dog or cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath. And slowly begin to walk towards the front of the mat. Feet hip width apart, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, crown reaches tall, lengthen through the back of the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up. Mountain pose. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, chair. Inhale, lengthen through the back of the heart. Exhale, fold forward, let the belly come to the thighs, hands down. Inhale, stay low, chair. Exhale, little deeper. Inhale, lift into mountain. Exhale, hands down at your side. Grow tall. Inhale, begin to put weight into the right foot. Bring the left knee into the chest. Holding the left knee. Sorry about those jets. We had an air show. But go ahead and bring that left ankle over the right thigh. Hands at heart center, finding your figure 4. Making sure the hips stay square. Again, finding your version. Option to stay just holding, or if you want to add little pulses. Adding them mindfully, just kind of seeing where you meet that edge with each pulse. Good. And 2, 1, and hold. Good. Slowly begin to lift up, bringing the left knee in, and mindfully, if you can keep balancing, coming into that warrior 3. I'm going to bring my hands to a block just to help me find that alignment, bringing my left down further than I'd like. Really finding that straight line of energy, feeling the strength in the standing leg as well as the lifted leg. And breathe. Good. And we'll slowly lower that left leg, coming into a warrior 2. Right heel in line with left arch. Arms reach in opposite directions. Press both feet away like you're trying to rip the mat in half. Really find your strength. Breathe. And right elbow to right knee. Left arm up and over. Extended side angle. Left arm swings down, rotating the right foot, wide-legged forward fold. Bend the right knee, left toes point up, Skandasana on this side. And walk the hands over to the left, right toes point up. One more time each side, bending the right knee. Good. And bending the left. Good. And bending that front knee, coming to frame the foot, runner's lunge. Option to vinyasa, your version, or we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Good. I'm going to end a little bit with like a yen style, lifting that right leg up, 3-legged dog, bending that right knee, letting the right hip open up, and then bringing that right foot to the outer edge of the right side of the mat. So big toe on the mat, the toes off, or if you want to go a little deeper, you can have that all toes off the mat, heel on the mat, coming into your lizard. So I think today's what feels best in my body is to lower that knee. If you want to keep that knee lifted, go right ahead. Or lowering that knee and then finding a block. You could find a couple and lift yourself up, bringing the forearms down. If you want to take it deeper, you can go ahead and come onto one block, finding the height that feels best. You can also just stay up on the hands, maybe on a block or just on the mat. And then taking the right knee, let it kind of open up. So maybe coming onto the outer edge of the right foot. find a rock side to side, or if you just want to stay still. So when you find what feels best within your body, go ahead and just take a moment to really close the eyes, go inward, and just breathe. And one more breath. And wherever you are, just beginning to move gently. If you need to move the block off to the side. And just tucking those back toes if they aren't already. And we'll just go ahead and bring that right foot back. Let's take the feet wide here. And just kind of wag your tailbone left and right, just kind of feeling into the hips, maybe bending one knee, then the other. Just any kind of movement to come back to neutral. Just kind of feeling the hips settle back in. Moving to the left side, inhale that left leg up, three-legged dog. Bending that left knee, letting the knee open up. And bring that left foot to the outer left side of the mat. Toes off the mat, heel on the mat, coming into your lizard. And this side might be different, so allowing that to be so. Just kind of feeling what you might need here. I'm sorry about the jets. It's like you're right here with me. Again, kind of letting the left knee fall open onto the outer left side of the foot. Just finding that even deeper stretch into the left hip and deeper external rotation. So taking a couple moments again to go inward, being present with what is. Breathing into that left hip. Letting go of your expectations. And one more breath. And beginning to move gently. If you need to move the block, go ahead and do that. Tucking the back toes if they aren't already. And just finding your way to downward facing dog. Again, taking it in whatever variation you might need just to kind of help bring the hips back to neutral. And then we'll slowly lower the knees, coming into your version of child's pose, back to where we began. Coming full circle and just taking a moment to notice. Notice how the energy has shifted within the hips. Noticing how the energy has shifted throughout the whole body. And without judgment, just allowing everything to be as it is right here, right now. Taking one more deep breath here, really feeling that low back expand on your inhale. Maybe just sigh it out. Relax and let something go. Good. One more deep breath. And if a sigh feels good, let it go. On your next inhale, just gently begin to push the body up, coming to a comfortable seat. Bringing hands to heart center and taking a moment to close the eyes, bowing down to your heart and acknowledging this time spent on the mat, where we honored the body, where we listened, where we gave a little love to the hips. I send you love and light. Namaste. Thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed this practice. If you did, I would love to hear from you. Please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It really means a lot to me and just helps me to continue to make these videos. So, as always, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful week ahead, wherever you are practicing this in the world, and share on lightly.